Hi, I recently promised my nephew that I was going to put him through a certain puzzle we just got him, only if he took a nap. And after he woke up from the nap, the first thing on his mind was the promise I made him 2 hours before he slept. Apparently, this boy had his gaze on the promise I made him before he slept. Stick with me as I share more onto this episode of Unleashing Your Purpose. The strong gaze of my nephew on the promise I made him 2 hours before he slept brought to mind the thoughts of God and how God gazes at us. In Jeremiah 29 verse 11, it says, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope." Wow.
What's that one error that you've made in life that seems to have marred your existence, to have marred everything you think you can be in life?
Despite trying everything humanly possible to correct
that error, everything just seemed to become bleak and dark.
This is to remind you of how your Creator views you. He gazes at you based on how He designed you, what He had designed you for, not on the errors you've been through in life.
He views us based on what He had created us for, not what we are doing now.
For instance,
you have a desire to travel. Your mind will be fixed on that destination, not the process it takes you towards getting there. Your goal is that end. Same applies to God. He views you based on where He has created you to be. That is based on what He has created you for, not based on how you walk through the journey, or what is happening, or the distractions that are happening on the way, or the errors you think you've made. And this brings to mind the story of Peter. When he saw Jesus walk on the water, he said, "Master, bid me to come to thee." And Jesus said he should come. He had his gaze on Jesus and he started walking in water. Guess what? As soon as he got his face off Jesus, he began to sink. So don't let whatever trouble you're going through right now deter you from that glorious goal God has created you for. You have greatness in you. The only way to unleash and unlock that greatness is when you have your gaze on the Maker, the one who created you, the one who has a master plan, who has a masterpiece, who has a blueprint to your life. As soon as Peter realized that he was sinking, he turned back to Jesus and said, "Save me." Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and saved him. You can be saved. Your journey can turn out to be for good. Your story that you're not proud of will be that turning point, will be that yardstick in which you will be elevated into His glory.
Fix your gaze on your Maker today. If you found this podcast helpful, kindly like, subscribe and share. Thank you for listening.